I don't see John Cena winning his final match.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I
That's fair.
mean? Like,
That's fair.
if that's where I'm going at in my mind, like, cause I'm with you. I would love for it to be Edge just for the nostalgia with that rivalry meant to us as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just pure inner child getting excited
Mm-hmm.
just even thinking about it. Episode 7. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back.
You
Paint
bet.
to the Pit. Episode 7. We are here. Excited to be here. Jay, how you feeling? Talk to me.
It's a great Monday, man. It's a great Monday.
It's a great, great Monday. We are recording on the Monday that Monday Night Raw is live in our city, Madison
Mm-hmm.
Square Garden
The
tonight.
Mecca. The
The
Mecca.
Mecca. You know, we heard every room under the book, bro. Of course, John Cena's gonna be there, his final Raw. But we
Oh.
know Gunther's coming back to fight.
Oh.
Gunther's first time back. Roman Reigns is slated to make an appearance. Obviously, everything else around that orbit is gonna be there. The CM Punk, the Vision, Logan Pauls. So that's gonna be excited. We're gonna have Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree for the IC title, and we're gonna have, like I said, Gunther versus Javon Evans,
They've
Solo
on that.
Sikoa versus mystery opponent, and then we're gonna have Nikki Bella speaks after turning on Stephanie Vaquer. So interesting Raw, bro. Like star-studded Raw. Think it's how it should feel. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I remember we was having that conversation of like you
Absolutely.
have like Raw and SmackDown, and you have PLEs, and we need something in between. Like
Yep.
Mondays like tonight is that something in between where it's still a Monday Night Raw, but
Mm-hmm.
it's in Madison Square Garden. It's in the Mecca.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
John Cena's final one, and everybody's showing up. Gunther's returning, Roman, Punk, Cena,
Mm-hmm.
all of these guys. So they had to do it big. But talk to me about how you feeling about this Monday Night Raw. What are your expectations going into it? John Cena's final Raw and everything in between that. Just talk to me.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, damn, it's kind of crazy. Like he's coming down to the wire. I think he's got like 2 more appearances after this,
Yeah,
right? And
I
then
think so.
that's it. I'm just like, damn. Like I'm looking forward to it though. Again, like you said, this it's the Mecca, man. Like everyone's coming
Yeah.
out to the show. So when you in New York City, you got to put on talent. You got to put the talent up there. You got to put all your
Yeah.
stars. You got to get everybody. This is what people pay to see. This they come to see. Like it's not like we in Davenport, Iowa. Shout out to Seth Rollins.
Shout out
No
to
shade.
the architect,
All right,
to
no
the
shade.
visionary.
But it's bigger lights over here.
Yeah,
But
for certain.
I'm just glad that we get an episode like this. I think it's again, like you said, you need those 1 or 2 or 3 shows that's gonna like help you get to that next PLE.
Yeah.
And then for this to be Cena's final Monday Night Raw, even better. Like you're gonna get hopefully something that will just give you more storytelling or just build up whatever they got going on. As for the tournament, I mean it's looking okay. I mean, I think we all as fans have our criticisms of what we would do, what we would change, how we would implement certain things. But
That's real.
I'm just interested to see how it plays out. You said Solo Sikoa's got a
Mystery
mystery
opponent
opponent,
tonight.
right? Yeah, so that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting. It seems like they're bringing certain guys back. I know we saw what's his face, Zack Ryder recently returned.
Yeah.
So we'll see in regards to that. I think it's going to be cool. Gunther's back, like you said. I think that'll be a cool match. I know Javon Evans probably not going to win. That's just an easy knockoff for Gunther. But I think with people like that, you need to have a match like that, especially in this setting, in this venue.
Yeah, for
Javon
sure.
Evans is definitely a guy that knows how to put on a show, and he's going to show you his theatrics. Like he's pretty good. Like that's definitely a future guy. Hopefully, we see him in the mid card at some point, or maybe even as a tag guy. I think he'll do extremely well in those regards.
Yeah.
Gunther being back is great. He could possibly end up winning this whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be the guy that see the picks like, all right, I want to go against him. But overall, I think it's going to be a cool show. I'm excited to watch. I think it's going to be top to bottom. We're going to get great matches.
Yeah, bro. I agree. I hate to be this person, bro. Like I hate to be this person, but it's like a genuine feeling, bro. Like I'm kind of over it, bro.
Mm,
I'm kind of over it, and it's because I don't mind. Like, and again, this is nothing. None of this is to imply that John Cena isn't worthy, that John Cena
mm-hmm.
doesn't deserve it, because all of that couldn't be like he deserves this. So I want
Right.
to just make that clear. I'm not trying to say that, but for me, it's just like it's just I'm starting to feel like you're doing a little bit too much, and none of it was
Mm,
making sense. And now that we're coming to an end, it's like I'm watching it and not even knowing what to expect, but from a standpoint of like, do I really care? You know, like, and the reason that I say that, bro, like, hear me out. One is one of these upcoming matches he's gonna lose because he's gonna have to drop the belt, right? Because we know that's gonna happen, right?
right.
So that's probably tonight, or that's probably one of these up and coming appearances. Again, waste of my waste of my time, right? And two, it's like you give us this tournament, and again, I get it. At the beginning, you know, I'm torn. Like if you ask me tomorrow, maybe it'll change. But sitting right here is just like right now we gotta have mystery opponents, and now it's people that's coming back, and then the people that you're bringing back not even winning the matches. It's like what, like so,
Yeah.
like what are we doing? What is happening here? And you know, for me, as someone that's so like strictly like I want a story, I need a story.
Mm-hmm.
This just seems like they figuring it out on the whim, you
On the
know,
fly, yeah.
you know, and that's okay. You know, I get that has to happen sometime, but it's like we've been doing this farewell tour, and it's like for so long now, you know. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember like people having like farewells, and it's been maybe like a month or two, and then they have their big moment maybe at a big PLE. I don't ever remember a retirement tour going on for this long. Like
Mm,
we've probably known this since what, the top of the year maybe,
yeah, even a
and
little
it's
before
like
that.
even a little before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that's true. Even before that, so it's like for me, I don't know, man. Maybe if we weren't doing it under that premise, I would enjoy this a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But because we know, like you counting down when his last, you know, appearance is gonna be, and it's like I said last episode, you force fed him accomplishments this run, and
Yeah.
it's like for me, I don't know if I really care for a full on wrestler's retirement tour. I think that's what this made me realize. Like, yeah, get your big PLE, you deserve it. You know, have your moment. Like, you know, take a did at the Survivor Series, you know, which is a historic pay per view under his belt and stuff with the Hell
Mm-hmm.
in the Cells and stuff. So it's like I get that, but it's like it's not like the NBA where it's like, all right, you playing different teams. I'm still watching you compete at a high level. You know, you actually can be playing for
Yeah.
something. It's like wrestling, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, again, not to say that he don't deserve it, but for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't think wrestling warrants a farewell, like a retirement tour for a wrestler, because I think it's just always going to feel this funky or this clunky.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know, it's
That's
like
true.
maybe a few months, but like, and again, like I said last time, I don't want this to be like a precedent of like we're grabbing your accomplishments for you on your way out. I really
Mm-hmm.
do. I really
Mm-hmm.
do hope that's not the precedent,
It's like it
but
spoils it to a degree, you know?
it does, you
Yeah.
know. And you know, Raw is in Madison Square Garden tonight, so I know it's going to be a great one. Anytime Raw is in New York City, especially in the Garden, something major happens. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
always people that show up. Like it's the Mecca, so it should be a fun Raw, bro. Like I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if we finally solidified, but who did you say that you thought was going to be John Cena's final opponent? I don't think I remember if we solidified that.
I don't think we got
We
to that.
talked about
You
that,
know what
right?
it was though, actually? I think that we were all speculating that Edge was actually gonna be LA Knight's mystery opponent on SmackDown. And that if
Yeah,
he
yeah,
came
yeah.
back he would kinda be probably the guy. I faintly remember I think you mentioned the Miz being one of those guys, but
Yeah,
I think the Miz
yeah,
lost, right? Yeah, the
yeah.
Miz
Miz
lost. The Miz
lost.
lost,
Miz
yeah.
lost.
So I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like but again, like you said, it just makes it's weird having him go through this retirement tour and this run, and then it's like the guys that we see or we think that are supposed to be a part of his like history. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
these are guys that he's had feuds with, but they're losing.
but
Like
they're
you're
losing.
taking
You know what I'm
the
saying?
yeah, like
And that's why I say it don't make sense, bro. There's no reason the Miz should have been out early. There's no reason
Mhm.
Damian Priest should have been out early. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like these are guys where it's like you really could find a reason why they should win or should be around. Some of these guys winning, you're like, okay, like why? Like,
yeah,
where's this? What is this getting us to? We know it's not going to be him. You know what I mean? So when I say that, I mean like if you have a Damian Priest and you let Damian Priest win a round or two, imagine his mystery opponent is Edge with the way that ended. You know what I mean? So
that
now
would have
you
been
giving
fine.
us
Yeah,
more
yeah,
theatrics. You know what I mean? Damian Priest standing in the ring. Who is it? And they have history. So the
right,
match means a little bit more than just going on to fight John Cena. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Same thing with the Miz. We know the Miz history with John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So in his promos, he could have played on that. He could have been showing like videos from back in the day of him and John Cena fighting and stuff. But it's
Yeah,
like give me something where I could go, ooh, okay.
almost like
All
that.
right, I like that. Let me grab that rope and just move with it. But
Or
I don't
like you
know,
know
bro.
the '90s sitcoms when they would do like that last kind of episode, but they going through like a flashback of everything.
Exactly. Something. But like we
Make
gotta
it
make it
nostalgic.
make sense. But so you going with Edge?
If it turns out that it is Edge, at this point I don't even know because I'm like it probably just he might not show up. If he
Yeah.
does show up, I would like for him to be the guy. I think that it just makes the most sense, right? Because it's like to a degree, yes, you do want to take a superstar that you want to grow and into a mega superstar, the likes of a John Cena. Then yeah, you probably would want to go that route. And even at that point, I don't know who goes over, whether it's Cena or that person. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I can understand that. But then at the same time, it's like if this again, like if this is his last match, sort of like you said, it was like it's just a retirement tour. It doesn't really mean much. It's more just giving the person their flowers. Then probably the match shouldn't actually mean anything, right? It should just be the celebration of the star, of the worker, of the in ring ability, of the mic, of the character, the gimmick. So I don't know if necessarily putting a young guy against him would really make all that sense. Which I preferred the Edge versus John Cena, which I think I would like to see. It's like, hey, it's just two
Yeah.
greats. It's two
But
greats.
you know what, bro? I'm sitting here thinking as you talking, I'm like, I'm asking myself, John Cena's probably have final say and
Mm-hmm.
who he's fighting and the result, right?
But
So knowing how John has presented himself and knowing what we know about John Cena, in my mind, there's no way he's going over in his final match.
mm,
If everything we know about John Cena, the giver he is, and I know people like to say he buries talent, but like John Cena, I can argue that he's just as much of a giver as he buries talent. But that's another conversation for another day. But I don't see John Cena winning his final match. So when I say
mm,
that to myself, I then say if I don't see him winning his final match, do I really want his last opponent to be Edge?
okay, okay,
You know what I
that's fair.
mean? Like
That's fair.
if that's where I'm going at in my mind, like because I'm with you. I would love for it to be Edge just for the nostalgia with that rivalry meant to us as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just pure inner child getting excited
Mm-hmm.
just even thinking about it. But even like
That's what it
beyond
does.
that, it's like I don't think John Cena's winning his last match, bro. Just knowing what we know of John Cena, I'll be surprised if he won his last match. So that's why it's making me start lean towards the Gunther angle,
Mm,
right?
okay.
And I think they'll even probably tell the story. You will see like, excuse me, similar like when Shawn Michaels did it to Ric Flair. I think you'll have that moment with like Gunther and John Cena where it's like he's letting
Yeah.
you know, all right, it's time for me to put you out. He put him out, power bomb him, get him out of there, get his victory, and he just leaves the ring. The whole arena
Mm-hmm.
comes out. That's how I see it. That's how I see it in them,
Leave the
bro.
boots in the middle of the ring.
That's Yeah, lead the boots. Everybody from the locker room gonna come out. He gonna get a big round of
At the clap.
applause. Probably even give a speech,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Send them
and
off.
I just don't know if I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be like emotional watching that shit, bro. Because like it's interesting. Like John Cena to me is interesting. John Cena came around in a very interesting time in my
Mm-hmm.
wrestling fanhood. Us being 93 kids, right? We the bulk of our childhood and the bulk of our excitement was Attitude Era,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the probably like the peak for us,
That's
like
the
kids,
prom.
like really believing that shit is
Yeah,
real,
yeah,
really believe like
yeah.
fully
Immersed.
immersed. I think that was Attitude Era for us,
Yeah.
right? And then here goes John Cena right after that, where we're talking around like maybe junior high schoolish, going into high school for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like while I was still a wrestling fan, I wasn't as attached as I was to it as a kid. So although I watched it
Yeah.
and although I knew almost everything that was going on, it wasn't like I was as a kid. Every Monday, every Thursday when it was
You locked in.
Thursdays, Fridays, I'm locked in. I gotta watch it. Timer set. I'm told my sister that I need the TV at this time. That's how it was during the Attitude Era.
Right.
But for John Cena, he came around the time where I was still watching it, but like with a little bit of separation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So while I understand who he is and what he represents, John Cena to me was like just always that guy that I always looked at like, damn, like you're so great, but like it's just something about your character. It doesn't like remind me of what I watched.
Ah,
It was something.
okay.
It was just something about him where it was just fun. I used to think the rap was cheesy. This is I wasn't like
The
I didn't
thugonomics.
I did but John Cena and I think a lot of people share the similar sentiment about John Cena. It's like after a while, like you start really understanding his accomplishments and his worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna you're never gonna talk about John Cena as like, yo, like you had to see him in the ring.
Right, right,
That's not what you're ever
right,
gonna talk about
right.
John Cena as. John Cena to me, just like one of those staple guys, always consistent, always there, always money, always main event,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
workaholic. And when you have one of those as a wrestling fan, while he may not be like maybe one of my favorite wrestlers, you appreciate him from a different perspective because you know how he carried the company on his back, right? And when you're a fan of it, it's like you always gonna have respect for that,
Yeah.
regardless of if you was a big John Cena fan or not. And I think that's where I stand. So that's why I say I don't think I would be too emotional
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think I was as attached to John Cena as maybe some people were.
Right, right.
Like, and when I say attached, I mean like locked in. Like every week, every pay per view, PLE. I just wasn't that during that era, that high school
That's
era.
true.
And then even in college, bro, I was even more separated from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
like for me, that's where it gets tough. And then, around late college when I started getting back into wrestling and stuff. So now you can see kind of like the transitions and the shifts. And I think that high school years and them college years, that was peak John Cena,
That's true. You did
you know?
you did make a good point. I think because I think what you alluded to, and you could just correct me if I'm wrong, but like like you said, we had the Attitude Era, and that was sort of like our prime, right? And the thing with the
Yeah,
Attitude Era was like it was culture, right? Like it was the thrill of it. It was almost like we had that sort of thrill of the unknown. Like again, like you said, it wasn't about whether we knew it was real or not, or this was scripted, or everything was like we knew the behind the scenes stuff. We just like the
absolutely.
act of the theater, right? The characters, like DX, Stone Cold. We like the fact that Stone Cold was coming out with a big ass milk truck and just spraying everybody with milk and beer and
You know what I
whatever.
mean?
Right?
That's
We
real.
love
That's
that,
real,
right?
though.
And then you transition to sort of like the mid to late 2000s and then into like I guess the what you would call like the PG era, like early 2010s. John Cena becomes like the face, and I think what you alluded to is like it became less of a culture thing and more of a more of the business, right? Because now we're seeing
Yeah,
WWE start to head towards the public, the IPO, the stock market. We're seeing WWE,
yeah,
and John. They needed that face of the company. John was that guy. He's the Make a
yeah,
Wish guy. He's showing up to all the events. He's doing everything for
yeah.
the kids, and
He's the merchandise guy.
his
He's the
demographic
merchandise guy.
was those younger kids. And if you look at
Yep.
towards now, like you said, probably the only people that I would really maybe feel emotional in this sense would be that younger crowd that really grew up watching him, as opposed
Yeah.
to us, where we're a
Yeah.
little older. We kind of see it for what it is. We like the characters.
Yeah.
We appreciate the work. He meant something more to those younger crowds for sure, like 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's like the childhood idol, and deservingly so,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Like, and that's why I just like, I know you know, but since we potting, I like to make myself overly clear sometimes because people don't understand certain things. Like, none of this is bashing John
Yeah,
Cena
right.
or saying John Cena wasn't worthy. It's just I'm just showing my relationship to where the product was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And John Worthy, bro, he more than worthy
Yeah,
of it. And like I think it's going to be hard if you really a wrestling fan and a wrestling geek. It's going to be hard to have him off your top 4, top 5 all time.
yeah,
It's going to be hard.
yeah,
If you do, I need to know what the criteria is. Because some people only, but honestly though, because some people, bro, only do got one criteria
yeah,
for it. Not everybody has this like elaborate criteria. Some people just say, I only care about what I felt like when I was watching you in the ring,
yeah.
and that's okay because we all consume the product a different
Differently,
way.
right?
Some people would be like, I only really cared about if they made me laugh or not. So that's why he was my favorite. But that's just, but for us, it'll be like, all right, cool, mic ability,
Right.
in ring ability,
Gimmick.
like ability to
Yeah.
work with, as a team, individual. Like we'll just break it down. So it's like it don't be that deep. But I do think anybody that any wrestling geek, any WWE geek will always have John Cena in their top 5. And again, I'm saying specifically WWE. I'm not saying WWF. I mean, I'm not saying WCW,
Yeah, yeah.
TNA. I'm just saying
Just the
strictly
company
WWE. He has to be in your top
in
4,
top.
top 5.
Yeah.
So shout out to John Cena. We definitely
Mhm.
gonna be watching. Looking forward to that tonight, bro. And then moving from the pit to the paint. I got it right this time. But I got it right this time. I
Remember
got it right this time.
that.
But moving from the pit to the paint,
Haha.
bro. We're going. Let's talk about our players of the week. So for this week on the Western Conference, it's just that man
That
again, man.
man.
What do you say about that? What do you say about that guy in Denver, Nikola Jokic? 39, 13, and 8, the big blob,
Jeez.
another consecutive back-to-back
You said
player of the
39, bro?
week. Yeah, 39, 13, and 8. Yeah, Denver was 3-0 during this week. And in the Eastern Conference, Jalen Johnson, who, I wasn't aware that he was playing this well. I'm not going to lie to you. I keep it in, I tend to be in tune. Maybe this past week
Yeah.
was a lot going on, so maybe I missed a couple of these Atlanta games.
Crazy.
I know they blew out the Lakers in one of them. So, but shout out to Jalen Johnson. They went 4-0
He
last
was in the
week.
chat.
24, 12, and 9, almost a triple double. So Yoke and Jalen Johnson, both teams undefeated during the week.
Wow.
So we got some players of the week so far. Everybody you expected. Jalen Johnson is probably the first surprise I've seen
Yeah.
since
In a
Player
while.
of the Week started.
In a while.
Everybody else has been expected. Shea got it once. Victor Wembanyama got it the first week, right?
Giannis.
Obviously, Giannis in the East, Jokic 2 times in a row.
Maxi
I
got
think the
one.
first week it was Maxi,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's like people you expect, but shout out to Jalen Johnson. You definitely have garnered more of you have my attention. I'm aware, obviously. I'm a basketball fan. But Jalen Johnson, you've definitely garnered more of my attention, young fella. Keep cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there, make sure I get watch some more of them games, bro. But how you feeling about what you're seeing in the NBA so far, bro? We about a month in.
Yeah, I mean, it's been some great basketball. The
Absolutely.
thing that's been crazy to me is just how many people is just averaging what they're averaging, and I just looking at the totals right now. I'm just like, I have it on my screen. I'm just like, man, it's so many people that's just like balling out. Like
Yeah.
the stat lines are through the roof, and even like you said, Jalen Johnson. I think there was one game he almost had like a quadruple double. I think that was why they ended up giving him play of the week because he was like extremely close.
Yeah. He's just
But
cooking.
the thing with that team is though they were saying that because I think Trey Young was out. They were like 7-2 without him. Some weird crazy stat line where they was just winning games without him. I was like, damn man, what happened? What happened to
Yeah.
Trey Young? What's going on
That's
over there?
real.
What's going on in ATL?
That's real.
But yeah, man, it's just been fun to watch, and this is month one. Like I can't wait to as we go further like into the NBA Cup and the All Star break, like how that's gonna look, man. It's as long as guys stay healthy. That's the other
That's
thing
real,
too.
bro.
That's the other.
And yeah, I mean, and that's real because we just got the news that Victor Wembanyama is going to be out a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks with the calf sprain. But then on the other side of things, the goat, the king,
The king.
the king, the king, the king finally returned back to practice. Old goat back at practice. I mean, doing goat things.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what it's like for him to come back. We play Burn the Jazz tomorrow, so
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be some fun stuff, bro. We got some great action coming up, bro. So definitely wanted to take this time, bro, to highlight. You know how we do with this segment.
Yeah.
Anything from the paint to the pit or anything in sports. Anybody you want to highlight? Anything you want to highlight? Floor is yours.
I ain't gonna lie. You know who I really do want to highlight, and I think we all know he's a killer, but I got to give Mr. Kevin Durant his flowers again.
Uh, the
I seen
Durantula.
that little mid range shot he pulled off in that game. I think it was last night. Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
man, that dude cold, man. That just like it's always fun watching him play because it's like he just come to hoop. Like he ain't about no shit. He just coming up to the court.
Yeah.
He ready to ball out, man. And I think they're like I want to say they're like 8-2 or 9-1 in like they last 10. I'm just like he ain't slowing down, man.
Damn.
They be acting like
Yeah.
he not really playing no more. I'm like Kevin Durant here, man. I like that team.
Yeah.
I like that team.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. Shout out to KD. Houston balling, man.
Yeah.
Best rebounding team in the league. Just it's just crazy. Like offense don't even gotta be good. Here comes Steven Adams.
Man,
That. So shout out to those guys. But
fucking the end of
for
the
me, bro, again, remember the first time we did this, and I gave this to Asia Wilson because I'm like, it's so dope to like in real time feel like I'm watching somebody become the GOAT of that
yeah.
sport. Like to be able to say I lived that is like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I know the NBA, we can't definitively say it because we know we still got the mic side of things. And
Mhm.
although we were born, we didn't live the Michael
Right.
Jordan
Right.
experience. So I can't take credit for that. So I know the NBA is tough, and obviously we lived through Tom Brady, which most people say is the GOAT. We said Aja Wilson before. Bro, that just brings me to Shohei Ohtani. Bro, like I think it comes a point in time, and this is not even from somebody that's a diehard baseball fan.
Right.
So I can't get on here and argue with you every little single stat and stuff like Burner and Ant can. We're gonna have them come on one day, have them do paint to the pit to the mound
To
edition
the
of the show. You know what I mean? Like they can, but you when you understand, just generally understand the sport, and you watch it and you're around your homies and your friends that talk it,
hmm
you become aware of what matters in that particular sport,
hmm
and you just start understanding and watching somebody just keep doing these incredible feats over and over and over and over, right? To the point where you go, damn, I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that go to baseball, depending on who you talk to, some people will say so, but I think all that's gonna be changed when that man's said and done, bro.
Yeah.
I just don't see how you can watch him do what he do at the level that he does it at consistently, year after year, just racking up MVP after MVP after
Yeah.
MVP after
All right.
MVP. Yeah, I think from American League straight to the NL.
Yeah.
Now, what is interesting though, right? While I think Shohei is the GOAT, I do find it interesting, like, if he would have been putting up those same numbers with the Angels and how that would have looked against Aaron Judge in those MVP races. I
Yeah,
think that would have been
yeah, that
fun.
would have been cool.
But all in all, winning championships, he's winning at the highest level. He's performing when it matters. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like he's just going to the World Series and, just skating through. Although he was ass in the World Series against the Yankees last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
held
We
that.
gotta
We
acknowledge
held them
that.
in check. We gotta acknowledge that. We held them in check. We gotta acknowledge that. But yeah, bro, I just want to give a shout out to
Yeah.
Shohei this episode, bro, because I think he's transforming into the GOAT of that sport. I see people say he is already,
And mind you,
and
this is with
I feel like,
injuries too. Like he's
you
got
know what
a
I'm saying,
dead
bro?
arm and everything.
But it goes to show you how winning will always change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
He was cooking on Angels.
Yeah, yeah.
But now he's with better talent. He's in the playoffs where
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't even making the playoffs with the Angels. He's in the playoffs, and you can see him in the limelight. You can see him on Fox now. You can see him on these
Yeah,
primetime channels
yeah.
because he's in the playoffs.
Making
So
big plays.
shout out to Shohei Ohtani, bro. Again, I think living through GOATs is fun. We lived through Serena. Now, again, we can go through the tennis talk, but I know this get tricky. When we talk in the tennis GOAT. But for me, it's hard for me to put anybody above Roger Federer. Personally, again,
Can't
I
argue
respect
that.
Rafa Nadal, and I
Can't
know
argue that.
Djokovic. I know he's got the most Grand Slams of all time. So if somebody say that, I will gracefully say, listen,
You
you
got
got it.
it.
But Rafa Nadal, I feel like we lived through Serena, Rafa Nadal, Asia Wilson. I know MJ, so I leave basketball, but Shohei, Tom Brady,
Crazy.
like, we lived through, I think, all of the GOATs,
Mm-hmm.
in sports, even soccer. Whether you want to say Messi or Ronaldo, we lived through both of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it feels good to feel like we really lived through the generation of the best version of athletes, right? And
Yep.
it's going to be interesting to
Athletes.
see, Lord willing, as we age, to see what happens with the next generation. Like,
Yeah.
let me see if y'all can keep up with what we watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, it's good fun. We here, Paint to the Pit. We episode 7. We about to get out of here. Go watch some Monday Night Raw.
At the Garden.
John Cena's last one. He's in our city.
City.
Or like what Chris Tucker say, welcome to my titty. I mean my city.
My city.
Remember he said, I mean my city. But Paint to the Pit. We are out. Peace.